almost didn't want to give Alec Murdaugh the limelight today in his sentencing, and I don't want to amplify his messages even more, but I think this is a good opportunity to pinpoint out certain characteristics that a master manipulator will employ and the tactics that they'll use on you in order to get you to trust them, to believe them, and to believe that they've changed, that, oh my God, this person, maybe they didn't commit the crimes that they were accused of. We've all dealt with manipulators before. We've all been manipulated by them before. And sometimes we catch them early, but sometimes they're just so good at it that it just goes over our head and we don't end up finding out until it's too late. And these people, what they try to do, they try to manipulate your sense of what your reality is, distort your truth, and try to get you to sympathize with them. They'll try to share stories of like, oh, remember the good times that we had, you know? They'll try to get at you emotionally, pull at your heartstrings. One of the manipulating techniques that I've realized a lot of people do when they lie is they'll give you a truth and then they'll weave it in with some of the lies as well, just so you can be like, oh my God, this person's telling the truth on this one thing. They admitted on this. Well, maybe they're telling the truth about everything else. Case in point right here.
And I will tell you that the sentence that I'm agreeing to is harsher than I wanted. It's certainly harsher than I had hoped for, but you are dead wrong about one thing. And I would never hurt Maggie, and I would never hurt Paul, because I know that the things that I did,
here we
that I'm
come,
pleading guilty here today, allowed SLED and the Attorney General's office
okay,
to focus on me
all right,
and not to pursue the person or the people who hurt
no, you did not,
and killed Maggie and Paul.
the performance of his life. Harpoolian was like, oh, you know, can my client speak? It's only gonna be like 5 minutes. You know what? Maybe 10 minutes. Alex Murdaugh went up there and spoke for like, I swear it was like 20, 30 minutes. It was pretty damn long.
He would like to address the court and these victims, if Your Honor will permit it. He has a statement he'd like to read to the court, which should take about 5 minutes. And then, as I understand it,
It wasn't 5.
and then 10 minutes, I'm told.
All right, so we're gonna get to the part where he speaks, and it is now 5 minutes long. A very important role in being a manipulator is to be charismatic and be as charming as possible. That way you'll disarm people.
You need a hand free or are you good?
Having a hand free would be helpful, but I can handle it without it.
Okay, at least when
I want each of you that spoke to know that I listened to you, I heard you, your pain and your hurt is palpable. I get it. It's reasonable, and I promise you that it resonates with me.
Honestly, sounds like a rehearsed speech, because remember he would say that, like, I talked to them, I looked him in the eye, and I lied. I felt like he had, remember the speech he had in his head during the murder trial that he kept repeating over and over and over again? I felt like he was trying to do that here, and then he probably realized, like, oh, wait, hold on a second. Let me make sure this is not, like, super rehearsed, and let me just break the pattern up a little bit.
It's reasonable, and I promise you that it resonates with me. I understand it. I hope that the time will come when you can look back and know that despite the things that I did, that I care about each one of you.
No.
Because I do.
No, you don't.
I did terrible things. Each of you placed your trust in me. I was very proud of that. And I'm still today honored by that fact. That I deceived each of you. Terribly. I did terrible things. Things I'm thinking about right now. Caused me to be hurt. Caused me to be disturbed.
It caused you to be hurt and disturbed?
It is so important to me that you know how bothered that I am by the things that I did. And that's important to me.
I mean, and also, like, I feel like it's not really coming out in his speech as well as his body language. He just seems really agitated to me and kind of like annoyed that he's up here and having to say all of this. Honestly, that's how I feel. You know, like, you guys ever had someone that did you so wrong, and instead of them, like, you know, kind of like really apologize and explain to you why they did and all this stuff, they're just like, you know, I really care about you. You know, like, I just want to let you know that, like, I really care about you and I really do love you. And it's like, okay, that means nothing to me, but go on.
after hours, days, weeks, months of self-reflection, I know now that I took more and more and more pills because I was hiding, or attempting to hide from the reality of the things that I was doing to all of you.
No, and here we go with the pills again. He's blaming it on the pills. I don't think he's really taking responsibility. And Wayne, that sounds so painful. That actually happened to me when I was a kid. I was riding my bike and I crashed into the curb, and dude, it was the most horrible pain I've ever had, ever. It was so bad. But luckily I was fine. But yeah, anyways, like honestly, like Alec Murdaugh, like, oh my God, he is phony as a $3 bill. Oh boy, he's like, it's not me. It's the pills. Remember Creighton Warren told you that I was taking like 60 to 100 pills a day? Well, that's true. It was a pill addiction, okay? The pills did it. It wasn't me. It was the pills.
I do care about each of you.
Here we go again.
I have special recollections of my interactions with each one of you outside of the terrible things that I did. JJ. I felt as close to you as anybody. I still do. As anybody I can think of. We grew up together. With JJ, we hunted and fished together, alone, all over the low country. I mean, I think we talked to each other about everything that's important to both of us. And man, I hate the things that I did. Our daddies were the best of friends. I mean, I mean it. When I say that I care about you, as hypocritical as that seems in light of the things I did,
Yep.
It is so very true. I did care about each of you, and I still care about each of you.
That's so, I don't know. That's me right there. It's just like manipulation. I care about you. Really, I do. I care about you. Okay, you've said it like 20 million times now, but get to it. Get to the meat of it. You know, and he's trying to connect with the victims by saying like, oh, okay, well, here are the good times that we had. Just to remind them, like, you know, there were good times between them.
Michelle, I can't think of a bad day that a hug from Miss Carey and a kiss from Miss Carey that she would always give when I would see the two of you, because I never saw one without the other, that wouldn't make better. And it was usually accompanied by some sage advice or words of wisdom that were always so perfectly appropriate for whatever was going on.
Wait, hold on a second. It's the pills, it's the dwarf ninja assassins again who stole the money. Oh, Harpoolian tried. I remember that. Harpoolian was like, well, you know, the shooter is probably like 4'2" or something. Or what was it again? They had like their own like theory of how tall the shooters would have been. Oh my God, I forgot about that. The murdacity. Yes, that's a comment that I saw. There was another comment too. He's in denial, not the river in Egypt either. We had such good times, so I stole your money so we can keep having good times together.
And I truly love her, and I love you. And I am so sorry. There's so many others that aren't here today that I hope will listen or be listening one day, like Dion. Dion's daddy, one of my dearest friends. I can still remember going to Dion's graduation, spending time with him. One more thing, JJ, going back, I do want to tell you as to how close I feel to you. My wife loved you, and you are absolutely right about everything you said, but you are dead wrong about one thing, and I would never hurt Maggie, and I would never hurt Paul. And it is important to me.
He's still trying to convince everyone. Also, notice he didn't say Mags and Paul Paul. Whatever happened to Mags and Paul Paul?
That you know that. Because she did love you. And I hope you know that.
God, he's taking this moment to proclaim his innocence on the murder stuff. Like, seriously, dude. Like, everything is just so self-serving. Come on.
And I hope you know that I mean what I say here today. Jamie, Bishop, man, Damien's uncle and daddy were as close to me and my daddy as people can be. Lord knows, Tony, I went to elementary school, middle school, high school with your aunts and your uncles, Ginger.
Yeah, dude, he is pulling at the heartstrings, man. Address what you did, why you did it. Honestly, though, if he went up there and gave an explanation, like, guys, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I had the intention of paying you back, but then I just kept going into more and more debt, and I kept taking more and more money. And then honestly, I was just in this loop of just like, continuing to lie to you guys. And I just didn't want to lose the lifestyle that I had, with my family. Like, I put my family first. I'm so sorry. I put my family first before you guys. I took money from you guys. And I really just did it, for me and my family. Like, he should have said something like that. Like, it wasn't even like that. But the thing was, like, I think he took, like, all of their money. I don't think it was just, like, him taking, like, I think initially he may have taken money here and there and then put it back. But at some point, he just straight up just took the money. And it's just like, okay, well, where'd the money go? Oh, it was the pills. Oh, the pills did it. All the money went to the pills. Like, dude, like, there's no explanation. Unless I haven't gotten there yet. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't really explain why he did it and how he did it and all that stuff. Don't give him tips. He don't watch my stream. Okay, he don't like me.
How many classes did we have? I mean, I've grown up with you guys. I mean, Tony, you, and Brian and Gloria are like a part of my family. And I mean that as hypocritical as that sounds, and me saying it, as hypocritical as it sounds, is the absolute truth. That does bring me to a point, and I will say that I said to Mr. Bland, Maggie and I raised our two boys with input from her mom and dad and input from my mom and dad. But we are the people who raised those boys, and us alone.
With the help of my sister.
Now, with that being said, Eric, there is no person, period, that was more important to my family than Gloria was.
Mm-hmm.
To all of us.
Words don't mean shit. It's all about actions.
To me, especially to Maggie, to Paul,
if you ever had to write an apology, you'll hire me. Oh, by the way, Bleep, your stuff shipped. Yay!
Lord knows he adored her. And I hope you know that. And Buster, and me too. I adore her. And I am so sorry for the things that I did. And it is important to me that you know how sorry I am for the things that I did to each of you.
Because he cares how people perceive him.
There's no guys. And Danny looking at you here kills me, knowing what I did. And you guys, we shared every facet of my life with every member of my family. And you are my family, Danny.
And that's where I thought it was gonna end, but he keeps going. Got it, next page.
And I have some more to say as we go along. We'll talk in some more detail. But to you, it is so important. Two things today that are most important to me is making sure that you do understand that I do care about each and every one of you. Number one. And number two, that I am so sorry and that I hate and am so bothered by the things that
I'm sorry, but just because you repeat something over and over and over again doesn't make it true, you know, just because you keep saying that you care about them. Well, your actions have showed otherwise.
I did.
And it's not like he gave the money back, and it's not like, you know, these people still don't have the money. Where's the money at?
And this brings me back to the text that came out in trial that I believe I sent to my paralegal, Christy, as I became better and less sick in rehab. One of the things that bothered me was knowing how I hurt the ones I love the most, the worst. And you all are included in that sentence.
Wait, did you guys hear that? He says, I hurt the ones that I love the most. Yeah, look at what happened to your friends and family. You screwed them out of their money, your clients. You screwed them out of your money, your business partner. And then what did you do to your wife and son? You fucking murdered them. So that statement right there is true. That's probably the only truest statement that he said so far. Buttering them up. Yep. Laying the excuses. Yep. Listen, I've gotten apologies from fuckers like these all the time. Okay. I know what it's like to deal with someone who's not apologizing because they feel bad, but they're apologizing because, you know, they just want to save face and they just want to make sure that, you know, they still get something out of you, out of this relationship, right? No, fuck that. This guy's a manipulator. Oof.
I hope you know that. Tony, Brian, when I decided to make up the story and the claim about the dogs and Gloria, I did it with good intentions of helping you. I am so sorry that those intentions very quickly became selfish.
And I wonder how quickly, because honestly, though, I don't think that he had the intentions of really helping the family. I think he just saw, holy shit, $, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm going to make money off of Gloria and her family. Just another way to make money, another avenue of just money making, you know? Like, I honestly don't think he did it with the intention of, oh, you know, oh my God, let me help with the housekeeper and like her sons. No, I think he was just like, he saw $signs. The moment she fell, he saw $signs. And the moment that she passed away, unfortunately, a week or two afterwards, he was like, yes, cha-ching, let's go. Like, honestly think he just had intentions, like there were just malicious intentions all the way through. Especially since he's been doing this for so long. Did his brother show for the sentencing? I don't think anyone did. So he does address his family members, but there was no camera pan to Buster, to Randy, to John Marvin, anyone. I don't think anyone showed up for him. And I think they probably cut him off. And I think that's why he ended up taking this time to really address them, because he actually talks to them for a very long time. And everyone's like, where are they at? I don't see them here.
And I am so sorry that I continue to involve you in my actions. And I am so sorry for everything that you, and I want to make sure the whole family knows that I am so sorry for everything that you have been through.
And I don't believe that, because a couple months back, he was still dragging the Satterfield family into like the court filings and stuff like that. I don't believe any of this shit.
And JJ, I really want to take you up on your offer.
No, JJ.
You proposed earlier, but I also hope that in time that each of you will be willing to talk with me, because I would like, as time moves on, to continue to reiterate just how sorry I am and just how important it is to me that you know that.
Dude, JJ, like, maybe go there, talk to him, get your piece out again, you know? Maybe it's therapeutic for you, but do not let this man manipulate you. Because I think what he's trying to do is he's going to try to manipulate everyone around him all over again to take money from them, to get him to help, you know, be like, hey, you know, like, I need some money. Can you like fill up my commissary, please? Like, I honestly really do think that's the intention here. I think he's just going to try to manipulate these victims all over again. Like, hey guys, like, you know, be nice if you guys can like set up a time to come meet with me just so I can manipulate you all over again and victimize, you know, you guys. And yeah, like, I don't know, man. They got to be careful with this guy. They got to be careful with this guy. Murdaugh is at least saying, I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. Like, he's at least apologizing. However, it's like, I'm sorry I hurt you guys. I'm sorry I did this, but I really care about you. I really do care about you. What he's really doing, though, he's dodging the important things. Why did he do what he did? And addressing, where is the money? Because everyone in the courtroom was like, where's the money? What did you do with it? Even the victims were asking, where's the money? Murdaugh avoids all of that. He avoids the hard questions and he doesn't respond to that. He just says, oh, I really care about you. Yeah, I do. I care. Yeah. And we know why he did it, because he was being really greedy. He was being really selfish, but he still needs to give that hard explanation to these victims. He needs to still explain why he did it and how he was capable of hurting the people that were close to him like this.
So I'd like for you to think about it. Despite what was said in this courtroom today, I can tell you that through my attorneys, I have been asking for a plea offer since the very beginning.
Oh, this is gold.
The very beginning. I formally pled guilty within 2 weeks of receiving the very first plea offer. That was in this courtroom however many days ago. But I formally pled guilty within 2 weeks of receiving the very first plea offer. And you've heard a lot of talk about the sentence, and I will tell you that the sentence that I'm agreeing to.
And this is what a master manipulator always does in a conversation when they're apologizing to you. They will give themselves brownie points. They will point out why they have done something good for you, when really at the end of the day, it was just really for them. So he's saying that like, oh, you know, the moment I got charged, well, I pled guilty within 2 weeks. But what you don't realize was that, you know, the reason why I was going back and forth so much is probably because he wasn't happy with the sentencing deal that the state prosecutor was probably presenting him. It was probably way higher. And he was probably like, oh, no, I don't want to do that much. Can you make it lower? Like, honestly, like he's giving himself brownie points for this. This is something that a victim should come to realization on their own if they wanted to. But he's like, nah, let me do it for you. Let me do the thinking for you, okay? I said I was guilty within 2 weeks. But also, you got to remember that it's not that he was the one who, you know, felt bad and came out to these victims. He got caught. He knew that he was fucked. He knew he was guilty. So that's why he probably pled guilty within the first 2 weeks. But there was probably issues with, like, you know, the sentencing thing, because he probably didn't want to serve a fuck ton of time, right? Yeah, this is just so crazy. Oh, man. Look at himself right here, patting himself on the back, giving himself brownie points.
In 2 weeks of receiving the very first plea offer. And you've heard a lot of talk about the sentence. And I will tell you that the sentence that I'm agreeing to is harsher than I wanted. It's certainly harsher than I had hoped for.
What do you think he wanted to serve for this? Do you think he wanted to do like probation only for like 10 years? He said he didn't want to do 27 years. I think 27 years is way too freaking lenient, because he was facing over like 700 years, okay, initially. Over 700 years. So I wonder if he was like, no, you know, I initially just wanted to get probation off of this. You know, I didn't want to go to jail. 27 is way too much. But you know what? I'm doing it because of you guys. I'm sacrificing myself for you guys. I took the 27 years, okay? Oh, God. You're so gross.
I will tell you that while I am pleading guilty for a number of reasons, all of which I believe are valid, none of those reasons is more prominent than my hopes that seeing me punished will help each of you heal and begin to be able to put this behind you.
But you know what really helped them? You giving them the money. A lot of the clients that he represented were people that were like in horrible car accidents, had horrible things happen to them, and they needed to hire an attorney to represent them to get their money back, or not get their money back, but to get their money in general, you know, to get their payout and stuff like that. And he literally, it's crazy. Like, he would get the payout and then he would either just spend it like it was his own bank account and then put the money back, or he would just take the entire settlement and then he would just not give them anything and then lie to them and say like, oh, the money's not here. The money's not here yet, you know? So I don't. It's just wild. He's had so many victims of this. Not only that, he screwed over his like law partners because the law firm that he was working for. I mean, he screwed their shit up too because now they have to pay out the money to the victims or try to. I think they paid some of the money out, but I honestly don't know how much money the victims even recovered. But I think right now he's just trying to manipulate them to try to build a relationship with them, and then he's going to try to victimize them all over again.
Because I can see it. I mean, I can see, I can feel, I know what you've been through.
Do you though?
I don't know it, but I sense it. And I am so sorry. Now I want to talk to a few different people. I want to start with Buster.
This is where I do think that his emotions are real here for Buster. I don't think they were real towards the other victims, but I think towards Buster, I think this is some real emotion here. And that's why it's taking him so long to compose himself. I just want to tell you guys, I'm speeding up, it's at 1.25. But he takes a bit to kind of compose himself in order to address Buster. Or maybe he could just be manipulating us right now and Buster, you know. But I think these emotions here are real. But what comes out of his mouth, that's a different story. No, I don't think Buster's there. I don't think anyone there for him.
Buster. I am.
Yeah, I think he actually means this part.
I am so sorry that I let you down. I am so sorry that I have not been able to be with you during such hard times.
That you cause.
I am so sorry that I did so many things that are so contradictory to every single thing Mom and I ever taught you and Paul.
Did you guys hear the phone calls between him and Buster? Where Buster kind of sounds like he's annoyed with his dad, and his dad's like, oh, hey, can you I think he was trying to get Buster's girlfriend to do a favor for him. Either get him like a phone card or something, or load up his commissary. It was something like that. And like Buster just seems like really annoyed, in my opinion. He's just like, oh, why do you need to talk to her for? And then Alex Murdaugh just tries to play it off like, oh yeah, I just need to her to do something for me, you know? And then Buster's just kind of like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you guys heard about it?
I am so sorry. I am so very sorry that the things that I did and that I am pleading guilty to here today have somehow caused some people, especially people on social media and some people in the media, to somehow believe that based on the things that I did, that it's somehow okay to make false, baseless, unsubstantiated claims against you that are not only based on no facts and no evidence whatsoever, but are also not based on any semblance of reality whatsoever. And I am so sorry that you have had to go through that. I know, Buster, that you know.
I guess he's talking about the Stephen Smith accusations.
That I have always been proud of you. I have never been more proud of you than I am for the way that you have handled all of the adversity that I put on you. Your whole family is proud of you.
Alex Murdaugh.
Oh, is it this?
Mom is proud of you, and Papa is proud of you. I see in letters, emails, and messages that people give to my attorneys how impressed people are with the way that you have carried yourself through all of this. I want you to remember that rational, reasonable thinking people never make as much noise as haters do. I want you.
I can't believe he said the haters. Oh boy.
To continue to tune them out and continue to be the bigger person as you have this whole time.
Keller.
I want you to continue to stay positive. And stay the course.
Right? Do y'all get that feeling too that Buster and Alec Murdaugh are not talking right now? Maybe Buster cut him out. I feel like they're not on speaking terms because of this. Or maybe they are and he's just doing this just for show to other people.
I love you so much. And I am so proud of you. Next, I'd like to address and speak to my mom, my brothers, my sister, my nieces and my nephews, who I love dearly, my aunts, uncles, cousins, the rest of my family. I am so sorry that I let each of you down. I am so sorry that I humiliated each of you.
Apparently Buster's girlfriend had passed the bar, got the JD without cheating. The lawyers are after some of the jurors, Clark, and now her son. Who is going to want to be part of the next trial knowing this? They have a lot of power. I only heard about the son stuff, but I don't know what prompted that investigation. I saw that her son was like arrested or something, right? For being charged with like secretly recording calls or something like that. And then they got a hold of the of Becky Hill's phone. But I don't know. I don't know if it's like something that like the lawyers are going after. We'll see what happens.
I am so sorry that I destroyed our family's reputation. With these terrible things that I have done. I am so sorry that my actions that I'm pleading guilty to here today somehow made people on social media and in the media think that it's okay to falsely attack two of the three best men that I've ever known. And that's my father and my grandfather. Two men who spent their life in service, helping others.
All right, can we go back to the victims now? Like, I don't know, and I feel like he's just using this as like a stage to speak, and like, if I was the victims, I'd be like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Two men fully and wholly committed to justice. Two men who were most honest
He's like, "This is my moment to shine."
and most decent. And if they were here today, two men that would be devastated.
What kind of pills did he say he was taking again? What kind of pills were they?
By what I have done. And you know that. And you know that.
When you take Oxy, does that make you lose your appetite? Because if you're taking 100 pills a day, I can't imagine you having an appetite to really eat. You guys remember how he was a little chunky when he was first getting arrested back then? Was he taking 100 a day? It was like based off what he said, like how much money he was spending on pills a day. They calculated that, okay, well, at a very high end of how much a pill would cost, you would be taking like 60 to 100 pill. Even at the low end, 60 pills. Like, who taking 60 pills a day? Constipates you horribly. It's a downer and makes you tired. And I was like, I mean, I just feel like you wouldn't have an appetite to eat. And he was a lot chunkier, back then than he is right now. I think he was like, probably taking some of it, but I don't think he was like as highly addicted as how he reports it to be. There's no way he was taking that many. It's just the lies. The lies didn't add up. His rectum was shut. He wouldn't be alive. That's what people were saying. That's why during the trial, we're like, this is so wild. His lies are just crazy.
Next, I want to apologize to my mother and father-in-law, although I hate the term in-law, as they have always treated me like one of their own. Also to my sister-in-law, Mag's sister, Miriam, her husband, my brother-in-law, my nieces, who I adore. My aunts and uncles and cousins on Mackie's side. I'm so very sorry that I let you down. And I am so very sorry that I humiliated you. And I am so very sorry. And I had Buster, back to this, that I have negatively affected Max and Pawpaw's memory. And legacy. I also apologize because I know, and I know in my heart, the actions that I am pleading guilty to here today and stress from all of that.
Oh, hold on. Is this it? I could have sworn I made a video about it, but I don't remember.
How many pills were you using a day?
Depends on a number of items. Most importantly, how strong the pill was.
Okay. Well, let's talk about, let's say start maybe in January of 2021 and move forward. Can you describe to the jury what your daily pill intake was like?
Hi, Tuco.
I think at that time, most of what I was purchasing was 30 milligram pills, instant release, oxycodone. They were probably mixed in with some OxyContin, which is made of oxycodone. It's just time release. I would have been taking anywhere from 1,500 milligrams maybe to maybe 1,000 or maybe 1,000 milligrams or 1,200 milligrams on a day I didn't take as much or didn't have as much, up to, I mean, there are days, many days, a lot of days, most days were more than that, and many days would be, 20, More than 2,000 milligrams a day.
How many pills is that?
It depends on the strength.
Well, let's say it's the
Of the
30s
pill.
that you just mentioned.
If I took 30, if I had 30 milligram pills, you
At 1,000.
figure 100 pills would be 3,000 milligrams.
100?
100.
So you're taking 60 a day or something like that? I mean,
There were days where I took more than that. There were days I took less than that.
60 to 100, okay? 60 to 100. I know he's a big guy, but 60 to 100. I think he was I think he lied and he messed up on the math. And then he was like, shit, if I backtrack now, it's going to really make it look like I'm lying. So I'm just going to have to stick to that 1,000 milligrams to 1,500 to 2 a day. Oh boy. And it gets worse. That trial was just a shit show. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Creighton Waters. I'm so glad that we had such a passionate prosecutor for that case. So glad he was so passionate. What was his reason for starting the drugs? Do you ever give a reason? I don't know if he ever gave a reason. I don't know if he ever said that was getting stressed. You need to relax. I don't know if he ever gave a reason. Do you guys remember if he gave a reason? No shot, buddy. See, I don't think he actually calculated how much he was supposed to say that he was going to take, or maybe he didn't think Creighton was going to ask you, how many pills were you taking? He was probably like, oh, fuck. Because, it took a long time for him to answer that. He was like, oh, man. Well, I was taking Oxy, sometimes oxycodone, slow release, yeah, Oxy, the slow release tablets. Yeah, I was probably taking 30 milligrams. Yes, there's 30 milligrams. Okay. I was probably, 1,000 a day, probably even more, 1,500. And then Creighton's like, okay, so we'll do the math there. How many pills were you taking? Well, at 1,000, 30 milligrams, 60, 100. Creighton just did not buy it. Creighton was like, this is bullshit all the way. But, oh, Lord. That's what I'm saying. If there's a retrial, there's so many room for improvement for the defense team for the next go around. If their next go around. But here's the thing. I was also wondering that, that's what I was asking you guys. If you take Oxy, do you really have an appetite or something? Is Oxy fucking weed or something where it's you're eating a fuck ton? Because Alex Murdaugh is pretty plumpy back in the day, Now he's really skinny because obviously he's on the jail food diet. But this guy lied about so many things. Should I just make a compilation of all his lies during that trial? There was a lot. All right.
Contributed to the health issues of the third of the 3 best men that I know.
Is he bolstering his family's legacy now? Is that where we left off? Talking about his family?
Pop tea.
This is one of the lead detective here. You see that eye thing? He was like, so where are we going with this? Just keep your eye on him, okay? He's one of the lead I think he is a lead detective. One of them is. Yep.
Think about it every day. How my actions have affected him and all of you. And it eats a hole in me. Next.
You know what his answer should have been? His answer should have been, oh, I don't know. I was so high that I wouldn't even keep count. I had no idea. It was just a blur to me. He should have said, I don't know. Instead of going up there trying to do the math and stuff like that. Boy, oh boy.
And I'm sorry this is taking longer than I had anticipated. Next is my brother Randy.
Randy ain't there. No Randy. Is there Randy?
I say that I am sorry to you because I know for a fact that the actions that I'm pleading guilty to here today have caused you terrible, terrible problems.
actually don't know if it's his relative or not. I know Judge Newman made it a point to say that they did remove one of his family members' picture off the courtroom. I don't know if that's just like another white guy or if that's just like his granddaddy or something like that. I have no idea. It looks like it could be, but I don't know. I'm not sure who that is.
I am so sorry that my actions alone have caused you to be so wrongly and falsely attacked. And that my actions have caused your integrity to so wrongly be questioned. Because I know, and those who know you know.
And then also, after Alex Murdaugh testified, I believe that's when Randy never came back to the courtroom. Because I think maybe Randy wanted to listen to his own brother testify to be like, you know what? Let me see if he's telling the truth or not. And then he probably saw that his brother was just complete bullshit. Because, there's something about siblings that you probably know what their tell is. You know how you know someone for so long, you can kind of tell how they lie. I mean, they grew up together. So Randy probably knows what Alex's tell is. There's probably something that Alec does when he lies, but not the grandfather. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it is, but people were saying that earlier. It could be, but I don't know.
Without a doubt, one of the most honest and high integrity people that's ever walked this earth. And I hate that the things that I have done have somehow made that an issue for you. I will challenge any negative-minded person as it pertains to Randy to go and find one single person anywhere who truly knows you or who truly knows him, who doesn't have an ulterior motive, to tell you that he's not one of the most honest people that they've ever known.
Yeah, look at him go up there lecturing everyone.
And I am so sorry that I went to such lengths to hide my addiction and my criminal actions from you, because I know that you would have helped me before things got so out of control.
You never heard of a felon speaking this long? I heard Daryl Brooks spoke for a long time. I don't know how long though.
Next. I apologize to my law partners. Danny, the only one I see here, I assume you're the only one here. Talk to you as hard to do this.
Brooks spoke for more than 2 hours, telling the court he struggles to understand why this tragic incident happened. Did he really? Did he speak for 2 hours at his sentencing? Did you guys watch the sentencing for that one? 2 hours. Oh my God.
I am so sorry that I have caused so much trouble for people that I love so much. I love you. And I love each of you. I'm sorry I let you down. I'm sorry that I humiliated each of you. I'm sorry that I caused you to have to go through what you've been through. I'm sorry that I destroyed our law firm, that you know, that I dearly love. And I'm sorry I let you down.
Can you tell us why you did it?
I'm sorry that I've caused each of you.
Oh, she right here. Her texting right there. That's our energy right now. She's like, whew, this is kind of long over here. I'm going to text. Oh, man, what should I eat for lunch today? Oh, let me make some dinner plans. Should we eat out today? Should I get some Uber Eats? Nah, I'll stay home and cook today. Her vibe right here.
You be questioned. Every one of you is not only one of the best lawyers
She playing Candy Crush?
that I've ever been around, but the best people that I've ever been around. Such good, such compassion,
She's still texting. She deleting something.
such smart, such giving, and such decent people. And I, again, am so sorry that I went to such great lengths to hide my addiction
Oh, we on repeat now. She's
and
shaking her
hide
head.
my criminal acts from each of you. I know you would have helped me before things got so out of control. There's no doubt in my mind.
Because, like, if I was one of the victims, the apologies that I want to hear are from him are like the explanations, okay? Like why he did it, explaining things, you know, instead of just saying, like, I care about you, I'm sorry. I care about you, I'm sorry. I care about you, I'm sorry. I was addicted, you know, I was hiding things. I was addicted to pills. I care about you, I'm sorry. It's like, I want an explanation of, like, how you did it, how it started, the process and everything. Like, I want to hear it all, you know? Like I said, like how, like if he were to go up there and be like, oh, you know, like I started doing because I thought I could put the money back, but then I realized I couldn't, it was too much. And then I was already living this huge lifestyle and I was trying to maintain my image and I didn't want to disappoint my family, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, shit like that, right? But like, I think for him, it's just like, well, I did it because I was greedy and I did it for myself. That's why I don't really have an explanation for you guys. But I care about you guys. I really do. You guys ever seen that movie with the chick from Gone Girl? She was in this movie on Netflix. It's called I Care About You. But what she does is she targets the elderly people and she gets the court to sign over all of like the financial stuff over to her because like the court has deemed these elderly people to be incapable of taking care of themselves. And she forces them to stay in a nursing home and she drugs the fuck out of them while draining their bank accounts. And the title's called I Care About You. It's a really good movie though. It's on Netflix. You guys should check it out. You saw that one? The one with the mobster? Yes. Good movie.
I said, Johnny, that he was a great mentor to all of us. I learned so many good things from him.
Who is he addressing?
I am sorry that I failed him. I hope one day that Johnny will listen to this so that he will know how much I miss him and I miss our chats and he'll know what I'm talking about. Danny,
Are these the lawyers?
they don't make enough good words for me to accurately depict how I feel about you. And you know the things that you helped me through. And you know how you helped Maggie. When she didn't think.
I feel like at some point, though, it kind of feels like this is just a filibuster. Like he's just trying to take up as much time as he can. Because I think people are just like sitting there like, okay, all right, it's been kind of long. What's going on here? What are we doing? What's up?
She had anywhere else to turn concerning her son. I hope you know how special you are. To me, especially.
Oh, with
Also,
Joaquin
but-
Phoenix?
For all you've done. And I mean it when I tell you that it hurts me so much to know that I had disappointed you. And I know that that is an understatement. I now apologize to every single person who cares about Maggie and about Paul. Because I know that the things that I did,
Oh, here we
that I'm
come.
pleading guilty here today, allowed SLED and the Attorney General's office
Okay.
to focus on me
All right.
and not to pursue the person or the people who hurt
No, he did not.
and killed Maggie and Paul.
The performance of his life. He was like, oh, I gotta remember to say Mags and Paul this time. If I say Maggie and Paul, people are gonna know that I'm being phony as shit. Dude, that is so crazy. He's like, guys, it's all my fault. Because of what I did with the finances stuff. It made them focus on me when they could have focused on the people who actually killed Mags and Paul. It wasn't me though, it was someone else. They're like, oh my God, dude. Blaming it on SLED, blaming on the AG, not him, not his fault. Oh man, I'm telling you, this is all self-serving. It's just for him. He really wants to get out of the whole murder thing. I think he's hoping that he'll do, was it 27 years? And he only has to serve like, what was it, like 85% of it maybe? Maybe he'll get out in good behavior. And he's probably hoping that the murder stuff, you know, maybe he gets acquitted on it. Oh man, dude.
And I am so sorry for that.
He's like, it's like he's like trying to martyr himself. It's like, it's my fault that their killers have not been caught yet, even though technically they were caught and the verdict was guilty. But yeah, the killers are still out there.
To each one of you,
Oh
and
God.
to those who might be listening, who are not here,
Right, because he has said that before. He says that I would never hurt Mags and Paul. It's like, it's not hurt. They're fucking dead, okay? They were shot horribly, horrendously, and just left there. It's not just hurt. It's murdered.
I want to reiterate again just how sorry I am. I want to try to make sure to look at each one of you right now so that hopefully when you leave here, you will know and believe that I was sincere in my hopes that you understand how much I care about you and how sorry I am for the things that I have done.
there's
I'm
more.
still, as I said, after a lot of reflection, I'm still not sure how I let myself get where I did, where I could do the things that I did to all you people that I care about. I'd like to say to any and everyone who's suffering from addiction, please get professional help.
Oh, here we go. The
Don't let
PSA.
pride get in your way the way I did. I had people who loved me, who tried to help me. Many, many more people who I know would have helped me. I had resources. I had access to more resources. And I still couldn't beat it. I tried many, many times. It's just too hard. I say, please get professional help. I'm very proud, as I stand here today, to be 812 days clean.
You think this is a session of Alcoholics Anonymous, or no, what's it called? Narcotics Anonymous, NA. How old is this guy? He's in his 50s, 50, 60? I think he's, how old is Alec Murdaugh? He's 55 years old. 55. Although his hair is not as, wasn't it like a lot more redder or something? Or was it always this blonde? It's fascinating to see how crazy people think. It's fascinating to see how they operate it sometimes. But at the same time, it's so fucking creepy.
But I didn't do it soon enough. Please get help now. There are so many wonderful facilities out there with professional people who care and who do wonderful, wonderful work.
Oh, is this what you're talking when he was bending down? Yeah, because he's technically free from his restraints, isn't he?
I would like to say a special thank you to the people at Evolve Recovery Rehabilitation Center and at Sunrise Detox for all the wonderful care that they gave me. Every single day, I use.
Is he sponsored by Sunrise Detox? You know, you guys ever seen The Truman Show? I don't know if I can play it on stream, but there's this part in The Truman Show where he's like talking to the nurse, and then she's like trying to do an advertisement, but he's like trying to talk to her. He's like, what the fuck, who are you talking to? You can hear the chains. Okay, so maybe he's free. Like maybe the hand one is free, but maybe the chain is still linked to his like ankles or something.
That they gave me. Every single day, I utilize the processes that they taught me, and I use the tools that they gave me in hopes that tomorrow I can add another day to my total. Lastly, I want to thank.
Oh, he said lastly, we almost done. By the way, this is sped up, by the way. So this was a lot longer and more grueling. Is he proud to be clean? It's just not like, yeah, I mean, usually when you're in prison, you know, you're going to be clean because it's hard to access drugs. Have you finished doing your house? No. No, I was going to start doing my bathroom, but because my ribs hurt a lot, I can't really paint. And I bought a sanding thing too. I'm really excited to use it. But yeah, I can't really do anything. It's miserable. I can't play pickleball. I can't work out. I can't play tennis. It's hard for me to get the turkey out of the damn kitchen because it's fucking pain. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just ranting right now. He had a lot of time to get help. He chose greed and stealing instead. Yeah, he literally is a con artist, manipulator. Like, yeah. There are people like this that are just willing to do whatever they can to take whatever they can. And they don't feel sorry. They don't care. They don't care about hurting other people, you know?
The men and women who have sent me letters, emails, and given messages to my attorneys with genuine messages of support. They mean more to me than you could possibly know, and I appreciate it. Last thing I want to say, Your Honor, is that I am fully committed to trying to be a better person. I'm going to do as much good as possible and help as many people as I can while I'm incarcerated. I remain fully and wholeheartedly committed to finding a way to somehow make those who love me proud again
Fully of shit.
in some small way. I appreciate each of you talking to me. I appreciate each of you looking at me while I'm talking to you. You can tell that you're listening. And I appreciate
Yeah, Mark Tinsley ain't. He's over this bullshit too. Mark Tinsley's like, I am not listening to this.
it. I'm going to say one more time. I hope you know. I hope you believe that it is heartfelt. And the two things that I hope you take away today are, number one, that I care about you. And number two, that I hate the things that I did. And I am so sorry. And Your Honor, I thank you for letting me address you. And
Yeah, dude, he's just trying to work the room right now. So honestly, like, I really do think he wants to reconnect with the victims just so he can like hustle them.
for letting me address the victims. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Bro, that was long. Oh boy. Okay, so that was like 20 to 30 minutes. What are your guys' thoughts on Alec Murdaugh? Do you think he was being truthful in any way? You know, he did say one truthful line, and it was that people that are close to him, he hurts. And that is pretty goddamn true, because friends, family, coworkers, people that were around him, his clients, he screwed them over financially. And then Maggie and Paul, well, y'all know what happened to them. So that's like one of the most truest statements he's ever fucking said. And the part where he was like crying, like he was crying when he was trying to address Buster, I think that was probably real too, because it seems like he had a really hard time composing himself. I felt like when he was addressing other people, I don't think he really cared. I think he was just trying to put on a show, honestly, and try to probably use them for the future again. But looks, it felt like hours. I sped it up, so it was a lot slower. And I think it helps to break it up, because when I was listening to this just like nonstop live, I was like, oh my God, this is really long. Like, what is going on here? Like, if I was the victims, I'd be sitting there like, what the heck is, yeah, I don't know. Tune him out. Bye, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Shiro says bye. He's still sleeping here. Little rattlesnake. I like to call him. I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. On Twitch, I do want to stream video games. I want to do some horror games this week if I have time. Yeah, thanks for Manager Shiro is puppered out. I don't even know why. Why is he so tired? I don't know. I'm going to hang out with him and play with him, I guess. And then I'm going to do some work. I got a lot of work stuff to do. But I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. If you're new here, join the Discord if you haven't already. Follow my socials. I don't know if it works or not. Follow socials, Discord, and I hope you guys have a good one.